I think that could be a cool thing to go into. I think we should. I have the two topics I think are worth going into, and then we go into. If you guys have anything, let me know. But I think I'll cover these two topics. We'll go to speedruns, and then we'll go into whatever comes after naturally.
Okay, sounds good. Recording is gonna start in 3, 2, 1. JK, I've already started recording. Anyways, this podcast is brought to you by
Anime.tv.
Perfect. All right, Christian, if you may.
Welcome to the podcast.
This is the Checkpoint podcast.
We are Checkpoint, and my name is Christian, host. Who are you, lovely gentlemen?
I am B-chan. Hi.
Hi, I'm Justin.
I am Floating Fiery Lionhead.
That's Dom. And welcome. We are midway through December, and it's been a slow week, but there's some gaming news that's interesting. Mostly a little story about an executive at Riot doing some not great stuff at work. We're going to also touch on some Battlefield 5 news, where there was some issue with like a small change to affect a big thing, and then we'll just talk about speedruns.
What BF5 is relevant?
So for our starting point on the Riot COO, can we talk about how it's either strange or the weirdest excuse ever?
Before we jump into that, can we get a quick recap of what exactly happened, just for?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So the ball slapping, face farting, dry humping COO Scott Gelb is being given 2 months unpaid leave and training following an investigation.
That was quite a sentence. Damn.
Although it is not yet clear the full nature of his events.
His like LinkedIn account.
This is probably in his resume.
Yeah.
He is an excellent slapper and flicker of testicles. He farts very effectively on employees' faces, and he dry humps them as well as an afterthought.
He sounds like a 12-year-old.
Man, that's I outgrew that a long time ago.
Which is weird because this is not the first time we've heard of like weird shit happening in Riot. There's been multiple accounts of like people feeling attacked or uncomfortable, women being like not taken serious.
This is literally like, this could be assault, you know, if you slap someone's balls hard enough, like.
Yeah, like my point.
It actually be classified as assault.
And I think it's definitely like symptomatic of the larger problems there, that he was only, given a certain amount of, education and leave time.
But that's the thing about the whole Riot crackdown, is that they have employees like this in upper management, which is exactly why they can let this kind of shit slide, right?
Yeah. So I feel like we've been getting more and more of this type of shit. This is just another example of how Riot has his culture, I guess.
Riot culture is bro culture. That's what everyone's been saying, and it's pretty much been proven to be true after 3 articles following all this entire dumpster fire. It's so ridiculous. 3 times.
Right.
3 times. Number 1 being, okay, I'm just sifting through the article right now. Number 1 being allegations of a toxic workplace culture following an exposure by Kotaku earlier this year. Let's see, promised to make changes and quash this. So they outlined a plan and everything in this one. And secondly was when an employee started to take legal action against Riot Games for all of the stuff that they did to her, and all the other ex-employees that wanted to hop onto this lawsuit. And then they had like a whole list of like really perverse things that the Riot employees were doing, and it's very specific. It's like nipple flicking for like male employees, testicle slapping, like this article says, just like ass grabbing, and just like talking about how rating like girls like by how hot they are and putting it on a list and like pinning it on a wall.
Coworkers? Or just
yes, coworkers. Like hottest chick in the office kind of shit, you know? Yeah, so they had a whole list of that. That's number 2. Number 3. Yeah, number 3 was PAX East, where in PAX East they had a woman's only they had a certain time period. I think it might be like the morning to like the afternoon, where it was like a women's only.
Oh, I vaguely remember this.
They had this convention / meeting where the first part was women's only, and then the second part, which was in the afternoon, was open to every gender. But in the morning, the problem about this is that it was really badly coordinated in the fact that it's totally fine to have women only in the very first part of some sort of meeting, because they do this in industries where women are minorities, right? But they made exclusive content available only to women in the morning that wasn't available in the afternoon for the men. So that is like really obvious discrimination. That's like discriminating in the opposite direction. And Riot was like, oh, we're just trying to like further the gender equality that our agenda aligned earlier this year.
Yeah, I mean, as I recall, like some people were saying, or I think it was an article I read that Reddit was saying that it was their attempt to right their wrong from earlier in the year, which was
like this is like a story gift.
Yeah,
for, like,
pretty
the
much.
Stories that women have been like at Riot have been mistreated.
Yeah.
And this is how they say sorry. They like give you.
They were
explicit
trying to. Yeah.
They're like, we're fixing this, and this is how we fix it. And then members of the community were like, this is not how you fix it. This is exactly what makes men angry at women and women angry at men,
I mean, that's what happens when a tone-deaf set of executives tries to address something they don't understand.
That's what happens when you get Brandon Beck and Mark Merrill from a school of party hardy chads, aka USC. It's definitely, they're both business majors too. Like,
that's true.
They're definitely not nerdy, awkward kids in Viterbi. It's a different demographic that they are compared to the rest of their company. So,
out of curiosity, do you guys have any contacts that work at Riot? Not to call out anyone specifically, but has this been something that's been hinted at
from like personal testimonial of sorts, right?
Yeah.
Yes and yes. Not so much hinted at as outright said, though.
Really, they just straight out said, "Hey, it's just bro culture."
Well, as I think the article showcased, he wasn't hiding this stuff.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
What do you mean he wasn't hiding this stuff? As in the COO did not.
Like they weren't like, this isn't a thing they were ashamed of. This is like, yeah, we just do this. It's normal.
You
like,
spank dudes' asses in public because
you don't spank your underlings. I can't.
Yeah, no, that's just like that's unheard of. Like not spanking your underlings. That's just so weird.
So you mean that's kind of language that the COO was using, where he's just like, this.
You don't post a list of hot people, ranking them anywhere if you're trying to hide something.
True.
Yeah.
It's I guess we kind of are talking in circles. I feel a little bit. I guess my last thought is like, what should happen with this guy? What's his face? How do you think they should probably like punish him? Because he's got 2 months of no pay, but he's probably a millionaire or has a good amount saved.
Justin, you know the article open? What's his name?
He should have been fired.
What?
I feel like the only real answer is he should just straight up been fired.
Yeah.
So while he's being investigated, he's just being given 2 months unpaid leave. So
he's on
it ultimately comes down to what the investigation leads up to. But I do think they should just straight up fire him. That is the right thing.
If they really are like trying to fix their wrongs, they would have like made an example of him.
Have you guys heard of that? There's this social justice warrior kind of lady who was ranting about sexism and how men were blatantly attacking women, and her as a woman writer in Guild Wars 2 in ArenaNet. Has anyone heard of that?
No. What's this about?
Crap. It was this huge debate on Twitter, and then ArenaNet immediately fired her. Like the TLDR is that she was being very profane on Twitter to her audience when they were giving her critique about her writing, and then she just straight up started dismissing people, saying that they were criticizing her work because she was a feminist on the side, because it says on like her Twitter bio, and she also tweets about it. They're just like, you're attacking my work because you think I'm a feminist, and all you cis male dumbasses have no right to critique my work, when that's what she was asking for in the first place. So ArenaNet stepped in because her tweets were really like abusive. They she was just straight up bashing her audience, and then they just fired her. They just straight up fired her ASAP. I think that's what Riot should do.
This sounds like someone. Oh, in this case, it's like a person who's just like really can't take any kind of criticism, and is just finding a way to justify her, I don't know, her childish ways. This is a good example, I guess, of how they should have done it.
So, I mean, if Riot really cares, which they said they did, they would fire this person, but it seems that there's probably more people than just the COO, so they probably don't care as much.
If this investigation, I feel like, I don't know, this is a really shitty view. If you were in the CEO or like in the upper division, you should. I don't know. I'm afraid of what else would come out because they're trying to investigate this. Because this is just going to lead to more shit coming out.
Like
it implies to me that the COO is the fall guy.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of the investigation, the right thing to do would be to fire him immediately. But that's definitely not going to happen because I think upper management is filled with dudes like this. Speaking of which, they're all dudes, and they will take action based on the investigation, though, is what I'm thinking. Like, realistically speaking, they will still take action if the investigation turns out sour.
I know. I guess I'm assuming there might be guilt within that group, and I just feel like there's going to be some kind of action to protect themselves. Or inaction in order to protect themselves. I don't know.
I understand what you're saying, Christian, because like it's not just, if you think about it, it probably is not just a COO who does these kinds of actions. So if they continue their investigation, they might get more of the higher executives who've also been doing the same things.
Right. I don't know. Is this just in the Los Angeles office, or is this like? Because I know there's a Brazilian office.
So there's a lot of worldwide international offices, but yeah, this is LA based. Just the fact that there's I'm not sure about worldwide.
What was that, Dom?
No, in Brazil, I doubt it's better.
Yeah.
Really?
Brazil's going through a lot of
general
shit right now.
culture is a lot worse
Oh boy.
in terms of sexism.
I mean, have you seen like?
Oh yeah, Bolsonaro.
Yeah.
The what? Sorry.
God.
Wait. Sorry. What did you guys say? Bolsonaro?
Oh, what the heck?
Guys?
Hello? Oh, what the heck? I thought I was like cut out.
No.
Hey. Is Dom there?
Dom?
I'm here.
Oh.
Okay.
No. What is this, Bolsonaro? Or am I pronouncing that correctly?
Bolsanaro, I believe.
And who is this person?
He's the president. He's racist, sexist shithead.
He's like a ex-military when there was a dictatorship within Brazil, and he's currently going to become the new president. Think of Trump, but kind of scarier.
Really?
Oh, that's hard to think of.
Ooh.
Well,
Like, if
Trump is
difficult
Look
to
up
imagine.
an interview he did with Ellen Page.
Oh yeah, he's very homophobic. He's also hates the indigenous people. He's
What's his name again? Give it to me.
Just happened Brazilian president.
Brazilian president.
Yeah, he's not a good guy.
So the fact that someone like him is president of Brazil, there's a likely chance that the Brazilian riot office is even.
Or the people and culture may not see those things as a
It's an issue, right?
great issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is actually a more complicated thing. I remember hearing, I was like researching it when I found out about their current president, like why people are going this way. Yeah, it's scary. I think he sent military to universities because like they were critical of him.
Really? Wait, the full. Oh shoot!
Not like to attack, but like to scare
To intimidate
people to
them?
be quiet. Yeah, intimidate. Just had just a preview for the news.
Oh man.
We've
Sorry.
entered a phase of new world politics. I like that summary of it.
How the hell we got? Yeah, let's go back to games. This is now. I think I'm gonna go to the Battlefield topic unless you guys have any last thoughts on Riot.
Yeah, let's go to Battlefield.
Yeah. So recently, Battlefield they've had a rocky launch in general. And I actually think Battlefield 5 is a really good game, but they've done like a small change, which has kind of rippled greatly throughout the game and the community in general. They modified the time to kill so that assault, submachine guns, other I think kind of rapid fire distance weapons have a different level of damage. So the time to kill with those weapons is much more lower. Or yeah, it's actually higher. My bad.
Yeah, I think medic was the only one where it's lower.
Yeah, still medic, and we're finding that it's actually like it's also implemented in a really weird way where it only affects some game modes. Other game modes, I think, is not rush. They're more. God, I should have researched this better. But what's happening is that it's kind of creating the community to really like go back, and people are saying this is kind of a change in order to appease the Christmas audience. The general audience is going to get this game for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What are your thoughts on hearing like how the general community is really against it? I guess I want to know what are you guys' thoughts of Battlefield 5 right now, and just in general. Like, I don't know if you guys are playing it. Are you like at all following the game, or what do you think people are saying about it?
I'm following it a bit.
I heard nothing. Absolutely.
I don't
Nothing.
play it.
BF5.
I have a good friend who plays it, and he says he enjoys it. But that's all I know so far. Like, he's just a Battlefield fan, so I don't know much else about it.
Like, I'm a bit of like a bystander fan. Like, I don't play it, but I like watching videos on it, and I think it's a really fun game to watch. But I also know that a lot of the community is just it feels like it's a bit fighting DICE or EA in general. Because when they announced Battlefield 5, there was like a weird tone that they were kind of coming off, and people were upset that they're like having women in the game, which I think is fine. But the way they delivered the message kind of came off as like dismissing their audience, and I think a lot of people did not like that attitude. And since
They
then,
literally said something along the lines of, "If you don't like it this way, we don't care about you."
Really? Oh god.
Yeah, it was not a normal PR statement.
did that guy get fired? I thought he
No.
did.
No.
And like, I think that the move to have women in the game makes sense, considering they're trying to have cosmetics be a part of the game. That's going to be like they're trying to kind of model Fortnite's microtransaction economy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the general attitude in which they deliver this stuff has been kind of really poor, and their PR for this game has been really poor.
See, someone
So to
Someone
that
summarized it.
controversial.
this is somewhat related to that, but someone summarized it pretty well on a forum that I was reading. They were just like, the inclusion of women is fine, but they shouldn't advertise it as a hyper-realistic World War II simulator like they always do. Like, Battlefield always advertises their games like that. The guy was like, if they advertised it as like a sort of hybridized World War II / like in a hypothetical world kind of thing, kind of like Wolfenstein, you know? If they had a World War II setting, but kind of made up a few elements and claimed that the game was that, then they would be fine with it.
But
They're twisting history. Like,
I don't know, but I I'm not entirely on board with that, but I think the first revealed trailer emphasized that point of view, because it shows like this character with this amputated arm, and it had this really weird vibe. It didn't seem like it was trying to mimic history, but it was trying to deliver like an action series.
There was a video that talked about one of their single player campaigns and how it was based off of a real mission, but it had two women in it, a mother and her daughter, and how they destroyed the Nazis' potential research facility that was developing nuclear weapons. And the guy made a point that said that he was diminishing the fact that DICE created a campaign that was diminishing the role of the actual men who fought and died for this mission. You know, they were basically making fake history.
I haven't played the mission, so I can't really speak on that.
Okay, let me see if I can find it.
But I don't know. There are cases of women fighting World War II. We have this women sniper group. It's Russian-based, I believe, that had a role in World War II. Again, I haven't done the research for this. I think that, I don't know, the whole women in Battlefield thing to me doesn't seem like that much of an issue if it's more just the general attitude in which this stuff is delivered. The problem I have is like now it's mixing up and kind of giving flame to the like red pill community. They like is kind of, that's like where I'm unhappy with.
It's basically giving them an excuse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's giving them a slight edge of legitimacy. But I mean, the game is really fun and good, and I've seen a lot of gameplay, and it's something I want to pick up when I have a PC in the 50 years that'll take for me to raise that. But I want this game to succeed, so it kind of hurts me to see like this community still like struggling to just like to just get their messaging across the DICE. I'm trying to be sympathetic with the players, not so much DICE at the moment.
Does look like a game, a better game, but I don't know. It does have a bad rep with me. Probably because everyone else said it was bad, so I do believe it.
I don't know. There's a YouTuber I follow called JackFrag who does like pretty much exclusively I was listening to Grand Theft Auto, Battlefield gameplay. Like he goes,
he Battlefield now?
Huh?
No, just back when I actually watched him, he wasn't a Battlefield guy.
He's more consistently Battlefield, but he's on a mix of things. Like he did, Insurgency came out with a new game, and he played a little bit of that. He does like Fortnite and PUBG as well, but they're like his main video content is on Battlefield.
Okay.
At least at this point. What was he doing when you were watching him?
Oh no, it was just a wider variety of games. He didn't have one game. He really focused.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I would say Battlefield is the main series, but he does jump around and add some other stuff there. Mostly shooters. But yeah, is there any other thoughts on Battlefield 5?
Here, people are using it as an excuse for red pill kind of content, but this is the video that I was referring to, so you guys can watch that later. It's called inclusive revisionism. It's specifically about that part of the campaign where they're rewriting history for the sake of being inclusive. You know?
Right. Would this really matter if it was just not marketed as a hyper-realistic thing?
Yeah, if they made up a story of some secluded place that was based off of the true story, then it would make a lot of sense. Like, you can change whatever you want. You can have that mother and daughter, but it's the exact same operation with the exact same factors, with the exact same boat that they destroyed. Like, but instead of the squad of men who undertook the mission, it was these two women. And it's fine, like, having women in a game, but can't diminish the fact that there were also men who died for this, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Just
Like men and women died for this, but you
Yes.
can't. It's the whole notion of feminism where you suppress. You're not supposed to suppress men as feminists. You're supposed to empower women. That's what you're supposed to do. That's the whole ideology of feminism that that I think is the most logical. But some feminists take the other.
right?
Some feminists take the other route and they try to disempower men, and I think that's what makes a lot of men really angry. That's what makes all the red pill people so like red pilly. You know, they're just like, women are trying to undermine our authority. I hate them so much.
Yeah, it gives them more, like we mentioned, it gives them legitimacy in their complaints and misogyny.
Yes, and that's kind of what this Battlefield is to me. It's disempowering the men who actually fought and died for this event by not remembering their legacy and giving those red pill people an excuse because this is happening. Yeah, so it's like it's just a lose-lose for both sides.
It's interesting that this kind of reflects the PAX East event that Riot held. You know, the all-woman event that you were talking about, Jay-Cho.
Disempowering men.
Right.
If that's even the word for it, I think it is disempowering, right?
I don't know if that's the right word.
I don't know.
feel like it's
Opposite of empower.
it seems like it's inclusion gone wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Empowering antonyms.
Alright, I forgot what my last topic was about, or did we not have a last topic?
Speedrunning?
I think.
Yep,
Or
go on.
yeah, Dom, what's up?
I don't think you mentioned anything besides those two as your example.
Oh wait, there was speedrunning, I mentioned that. It was mostly just like, me and Brian were just kind of going into that a little bit yesterday and asking like what speedruns we were into. I was seeing this video, H Bomber guy, but he did this really interesting, I guess, documentary on speedrunning and how communities basically gather around a game, and as people find new ways of basically breaking the game, they find new ways of optimizing speedruns.
Mm-hmm.
As well as different categories of speedruns, whereas like glitches are allowed or no glitches. Or what I was looking at this video for Mirror's Edge, and it was like bike speedrun. You only run until you find a bike in the level, and then you go on to the next like level.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, it creates a different flow of like, I don't know. With that specific speedrun, it's like, oh, you're not trying to beat the level, you're just trying to get to point B, but it's in the middle of the level. But yeah, I want to ask you guys, how, like, have you guys like been watching speedruns? Do you participate? Is that a community you are interested in at all?
Only in relation to Dark Souls.
I was gonna say the same. What's your experience?
Dark Souls has a really good speedrun community.
Yeah, so that's how I'm aware of it.
Have you done any
What about you,
speedruns
JJ?
yourself? Oh, sorry.
I've been watching the recent ones I've been watching was I Want to Run the Marathon. Have you guys heard of what was it again?
I want to be the guy.
Is it
Yeah, Be the
yours?
Guy, except the developers specifically made a speedrun game for Awesome Games Done Quick. Pretty cool.
What's that?
So Awesome Games Done Quick.
Do you want to explain what that is?
Yeah.
So they do speedrunning every year. Usually they get like 50,000 Twitch viewers for like a whole week or something, and then they just get speedrunners from around the world to come to their event. They get like a few people to sit on a couch behind them. They provide commentary, and the speedrunner to also provide commentary. And while they're speedrunning and explaining their own speedrun, people donate to Awesome Games Done Quick, and then they donate all of it to charity. I don't know how much they made this year, but usually it's in the 7 digits. Like a lot of money that they actually donate.
Wait, really?
I think it might have been. Let me see.
This year was, I think, over 2 mil.
Yeah, 2 million.
Dang.
It is 2 million.
It is?
Some people donate like $1,000. It's actually a really great cause. And people get to watch really good speedruns too. Like the video games that they play, especially the Skyrim speedrun in like 2015. That one was like my most memorable one because, you know, if you don't want to watch a game, like the whole game, then you can just watch a speed run.
So I just linked a video for why speedrunning is awesome, and
Good.
it kind of goes a little bit into that group. Just out of curiosity, what was the time for Skyrim?
Skyrim was like 2 hours or something, but that was a long time ago. Yeah, but wait, here's okay, there was I want to run the marathon. That one wasn't too interesting. They just made a game and they speed ran that one. Undertale. I watched Undertale. The thing that interested me about Undertale was that it was literally like he just played through Undertale but really fast. Like he didn't use any game-breaking mechanics, probably because there weren't any. Which I thought that was interesting. Like he didn't like speed through the entire map with some walking hack or anything. He just walked through the whole thing.
I'm guessing
It was just kind of boring.
What do you call it? Efficient methods, right?
Yeah, he just walked through and pressed buttons super fast. Like that's like the extent that you can speedrun Undertale, I think. And maybe he did like a few inventory glitches, but still, like.
I mean, though I kind of went in on a tangent myself and saw a bunch of Mirror's Edge runs. I showed Brian one where it's the
gosh.
2-player, 1 controller.
Oh gosh.
Oh, you should see the Wait. Speaking of Mirror's Edge, there's another one that I was seeing, but go on with your point. Let me find it.
Oh yeah, so there's a video out there of it took 2 people. There's 2 speedrunners.
One controller.
RD2929 and then it's like Over Donkey, and they beat the game in an hour and 7 minutes as 2 people.
Playing one
game.
controller, yeah. Playing one controller.
So I think we're gonna have a link down here added if you want to see it. But it was also Games Done Quick.
This one's pretty funny. This is SGDQ. I forgot what SG stands for, but it's Summer Games Done Quick. Yeah, they've got a lot of different games, different seasons, different times. But I thought this one was pretty funny. It's Mirror's Edge speedrunner roasted in Summer Games Done Quick 2017. He said he was basically running Mirror's Edge, but glitchless. And then he started doing a lot of glitches, and then the dude behind him, who's the guy who did the Skyrim speedrunning, and he's like generally a really wholesome and normal dude. He's just roasting him the entire time because he's just like, that's a glitch, right? And then the dude is just like, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. Like he's trying very hard to keep his composure, but then he just keeps doing these glitches, and the guy in the back is just like, you're doing a glitch. You know that? And he's like, no, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. Like, constantly. I agree with the dude in the back. Probably because he did the Skyrim speedrun and he's a cool guy, but the guy in the front is like, you know, he's not doing glitchless. It's fake news.
I don't know, some glitches are kind of like fun to watch. I think Dom can. You've seen some of the speedruns of Dark Souls where they break the. If you do things in a specific frame, it lets you skip into a different room. Like it lets you beat Dark Souls without having to like take out 3 bosses.
Kill and skip.
Yeah. What is the method for that? If you know it.
Oh, I don't remember the method, but the result is as soon as you can get to the altar for the kiln, you can get into the kiln. And that allows you to skip most of the bosses in the game.
Regarding that topic, Christian, I think for me the most memorable speedrun, and probably the first one I've watched, was the Legend of Zelda 64 speedrun, where you have Link back hopping through the entire level. And by doing that, he's able to, you know, take advantage of certain corners in the level design and kind of just phase through from one part of the game to like another part. And I think it skips what, 1/3 or maybe even half of the game, I'm not sure. But no, yeah, like, so I think the camera is actually facing Link, is right behind Link, and it's facing forward, so the speedrunner is unable to see where Link is going because he's back hopping the entire time.
But he knows where he's
he knows
going.
exactly where to go. It's insane, like, just seeing this happen. And you see Link, his character, just go through the entire levels and even just like phase through walls and stuff. I don't know the time, I just remember it was a really, really cool video to see, just, you know, seeing how well these players knew their game.
Right. I think it's interesting because you find, I was saying how this is like being good at a sport or an instrument, but instead of it being a sport or it's a game, these are people that have high skill in one thing, but it's just watching them is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
There's like a ton of entertainment in it, and I think it's cool how these people, because they're all basically normal,
Yeah.
and it kind of gives you the idea that you can also do this. I don't know. To me, it's a really good combination of relatability, but also like skill and time and dedication.
Not to mention it's about video games, which is
Yeah, and
that's
games.
cool.
Yeah, I just think it's a really cool like subculture that exists out there that I honestly kind of ignored for most of my time looking up shit.
Can I go on a tangent?
Yeah,
This is
Go for it.
yeah, like I've been holding myself back, but
Go for it.
you know, I'm literally just scrolling through stuff. Inbuild the PC sales. There's a Asus VR headset for $150, and I'm considering it. I'm like,
Wait, which one?
it's the Asus VR headset WMR with controllers, with 2 motion controllers for $150. Free in-store pickup. I don't know what this is. I've never heard of this budget bootleg Asus VR.
I've never heard of it either. I mean,
Yeah, I know. See, no, but I'm reading in the comments and it's like, I wouldn't recommend getting a Vive and a Rift if these kinds of deals are happening. Both of those are getting old and it's starting to show, but they still cost $400. $450 through $200, these WMR headsets are the real deal. It has higher resolution than the Vive and the Rift. It's an easier setup. Head tracking is on par, while hand tracking is only slightly worse. So you get like good value for what you spend. If you really want to like dabble in VR and if you've never touched it before, they're saying that this is a good one. These cheap $150 Lenovo, Asus. I've seen like a Sony one as well that wasn't on the PlayStation. Yeah, so they're just like just skimp out. You probably don't have to buy one for $400 from Vive and Rift.
I mean, considering
And he's-
you, Cho, I know that you are probably our preeminent hardware guy with all your PC building knowledge.
Oh no, I just shop for a lot of deals.
But I mean, yeah,
like,
I mean,
You just love a good deal. You don't have to buy it. You just need to like.
it just has to be a good deal. It doesn't even have to be a good product.
well,
I'll
yeah,
feel
that's
content.
what I want to ask you about, Cho, actually. So, like, in your opinion, when it comes to hardware stuff for for gaming, for PCs and electronics, you say, I mean, is that really your main mantra? You just need a good deal and it doesn't need to be
No.
a brand name product, or do you
No,
feel? Yeah, go ahead.
well, in terms of brand names, it obviously depends on the product. I think TV brand names is very important for a gamer. Something like a Samsung and an LG TV, which, speaking of which, there's a 43-inch class LED 4K TV for $250, and I'm like, wow, you
Fantastic
can buy
show.
a 40. Yeah, I'm like, you could buy a 43-inch TV in this day and age. That's 4K for $250. That's insane.
Wait, what? Wait. Say it.
Look,
Start over.
I'm just-
Wait, there's a 4K,
Here.
43-inch. Where?
Here.
Link
I put
now.
it.
Hold on.
It's on Best Buy.
What?
It's 43 inches, 4K, $250, and this isn't even a
$250?
good sale.
Wait,
$250.
normally they're $1,000.
No, they're not. No,
No,
they're
normally
not.
like
Brian.
at least like 5
No,
years
no,
ago.
no. I've been looking at Slick Deals, and I've also been looking at the regular
You're
deals.
shitting me.
Usually, it goes on sale for like $280, and normal price would be like $400,
I've bought
$350, $400,
$50 and it's used and it's on 4K.
and it's used,
Oh
and it's
my-
like 1080, right? Yours is
Yeah.
probably 1080, and it's probably thick as fuck.
It
This is also a smart TV, so you can watch YouTube, you can watch Hulu, Netflix, you can watch the whole shebang. And so, like, this sounds like a shameless plug right now, but for, like, back to the original topic, which is, in terms of brand names, televisions are important. So, if you play on a console, something that requires minimum input lag, because that's, we're very sensitive to input lag. Like, the person who watches a normal TV show probably doesn't feel any input lag because it's just an image. When we're interacting with something and you've been playing games for like a certain amount of time, you want as low of an input lag as possible, otherwise it'll feel laggy. You might input something and it'll come out like 5 milliseconds later. That's a big deal. That's like, you should always look at TV reviews, see if their gaming capability is good. because some of these TVs are meant for watching only. Some of these TVs are meant for watching and gaming. So be wary.
Okay, so
TVs.
you're saying in regard to TVs, what about? Well, I mean, yeah, what about like? I guess. Well,
Like
I mean,
PC parts.
Yeah, PC parts. I know that you're
Motherboards.
using a third-party controller adapter for your Switch and stuff, right?
Yeah, that one's it's the Mayflower adapter.
Mm-hmm.
That one runs totally fine. You just have to do your research beforehand. So, for something like a case, a bootleg case is totally fine because what does it do? It literally just keeps your parts warm or cool.
It keeps
Yeah,
it together.
you know,
Yeah.
It keeps your computer together and keeps your computer cool.
Mm-hmm.
A motherboard, it's nice to have a brand name motherboard. Plus, the brand name motherboards aren't even like that much more expensive than the bootleg motherboards. So just invest a little bit. Like SSDs, yeah, it's better to invest. For something like speakers and headphones, I'm not really an audiophile, so that doesn't matter to me. If you don't specialize in something, this is like my mantra for buying most things. If you don't specialize in something, or if you're trying to dabble into something new and you think you need to buy equipment for it, let's say you want to go swimming, right? You want to buy something like Speedo goggles, Speedo hats, Speedo pants, the whole Speedo shebang, because it's a brand name, right? But it's marked up like maybe $10 or $15 higher than some random pair of like Speedo shorts and Speedo hats and Speedo goggles. But you don't know anything about swimming, so what's the point of getting something as expensive and like water dynamic as the Speedo brand when you could buy the cheap variation and you won't even be able to tell the difference?
True.
Because you won't know how much you're getting from something that's expensive until you've tried something that's ghetto. That's my mantra. Like, you don't know how good your great computer is, your $1,500 rig is, until you've played on a $300 rig. That's like, you will know how green the grass is on the other side because you've seen it all. You've seen the shitty side, the slums, and the shit in front of your doorstep, and then you've also lived in the palace.
That's a good way to put it. I that's a really good way to put it.
Like, you'll know how amazing that palace is once you've lived in the slums before. It's an eye-opening experience, really. And whereas if you, let's say for cameras, there's some people who just straight up buy like $1,500 cameras.
So I can speak on this. I went through this before. I have a Canon T3i, and I remember that was considered the beginner, beginner camera enthusiast pack. It was still already like a $500 camera. Oh my goodness, yeah. So actually, this is the other thing I want to ask you about. Well, just to finish up my point, the Canon T3i is very good for, as they say, for the beginner pack, but it's still not great because you can take good photos, you can take okay videos at 30 FPS, but your images and your videos are not really high quality. Like, they're not bright enough, they don't have very, very clear images, and like I said, you can only take 30 FPS videos, while if you bump yourself up to a $700 camera like the Canon 5D, you'll get like 60 FPS 1080p videos and just very, very very clear pictures that can be easily seen in the dark and such.
So did you go up or down?
I have not upgraded yet. I started at Canon T3i, and so here's the thing. Like, I've worked with the Canon T3i for about 5 years now. I've tried many programs, like photoshopping, many different lenses. I mean, lenses is a big thing to improving the performance and quality of a camera, of an image from a camera.
Performance.
Yeah, so I've tried many things to I guess modify the performance of the camera, or the performance of the result. And I definitely can say that I still cannot compare to what people can put out with the bare output of a Canon 5D.
And the Canon 5D is like the cheap one?
No, that's a $700 one. So mine is the T3. Is a T3i, yeah. While the one that's level above is the 5D. So that's $200 more than my camera, which is $500.
Infinitely better.
Yes, like no matter what I do to my T3i images, the images from a 5D will still like blow it out of the water without any modification.
See, and you wouldn't have known that unless you use the shitty camera.
That's
right?
true. That's true.
So,
But I mean, my question to you, J-Cho, is when it comes down to things like cameras and, you know, things that will cost a lot of money, do you still feel that, you know, trying out the shittier version that will still, you know, cost a lot of money, is that still worth
Yes.
it?
yes, I definitely think so. Like, so we don't have to talk about hardware, right? We can talk about like my bike. I bought a cheap ass like $150 road bike. That's actually really cheap for a road bike. Like bicycles are expensive equipment.
They are really expensive.
Yeah, Christian can attest to this with his whole bike
Bike sales.
small bike. Yeah. So like also you're muted by the way, Christian. I don't know if you did it on purpose or not, but
Whenever you jump in talking about your bike sales, your bike sales.
Yeah,
I wanted to do that.
I bought a road bike for $150 and it was garbage. It was like the paint was really cheaply painted on. It was one of those really flashy bikes where you know how certain computers reek of gamer, how they just try to make it look like racing gear? That's kind of what my bike looked like. It was like red and black and had like streaks and it had this really big logo on it that said like DX Racer or some shit like that. I know that's a chair red. You know what you mean, right? You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So my bike, that was basically my bike, but you could tell that it was very cheaply made because it's just the gear shift didn't work too well. The brake pad had to be adjusted coming out of the box and everything. Like I assembled the thing myself, but a lot of stuff had to be adjusted. And it didn't last like super long up until it got stolen. Like there's a lot of maintenance that I had to do.
Was this at USC?
Yes, this is at USC.
How long did it last?
So it lasted a year until it got stolen. It got stolen. Like ultimately, I never got to find out the lifespan of this bike. But I invested $150 more. So I went from maybe $200 to about $300,
Really?
maybe $330 with tax. My current bike is like this very simplistic looking road bike, and that's not even a high-end road bike. This is a low-end road bike. It's just the other one was low, like trash tier Walmart.
Oh.
Actually from Walmart road bike. It's what you do when you want to get into something entry level and just look kind of cool because you're riding a road bike. So I got that. Compared to the first road bike, it was a lot lighter. It actually used brand name gears from Shimano, and it had like, you know, some of the right equipment that actually made the bike function a little more properly than the other one. And it was a big difference. It's just so much easier carrying my bike from place to place. Sometimes I have to pick it up, maybe go down a flight of stairs. Yeah, it makes me bike faster because it's lighter, you know? The gear shift doesn't just like get stuck in place. It's I don't have to maintain it as often as that other crappy bike. That's another thing about cheap products though. It's like sometimes you end up spending more money on that cheap product because you have to maintain it more. So you have to think
Like
whether or not you have to invest in something like that.
Or it could be like a high-end car and spend more money to maintain it and also to buy it in the first place.
Right.
Yeah, always do your research on everything you do. It's always watch those YouTube reviews, read those website reviews. I've been considering electric bikes. There's a whole website called electricbikereview.com. You review like every.
I can help you out with that. Like Luna-Cycles is one of the big companies, but they won't charge you up the ass.
Oh no, I just go onto Electric Bike Review. He just tries to pick up every bike possible, electric bike possible, and then he rates them by price, by accessibility, by
Oh, that's
he's got everything. Pretty impressive.
Christian, now that you're back, we wanted to hear about your bike business.
Oh yeah, I used to buy and sell bikes in school. Basically, the idea is just flipping bikes. You buy them on Craigslist when people are graduating. You can't take them on their planes, and then you sell them. I only made like $100 out of that. Nothing major. I had another friend who was way more organized, and he's the one that got me into it. and he was able to probably make like 500 or 600.
Oh man.
Like he was like that was like a job for him.
Is that like
It was one of those things that you only do like the first 2-3 weeks of school,
Mm-hmm.
because that's when people are buying, and that's when you can catch them when they're like most willing to. After that, the business like freezes up midway throughout the semester.
yeah? I can really try to do that with mattresses, and now 2 mattresses are leaning on the outside of my house, and
I had I think 3 mattresses or 2 mattresses too, because I let a friend of mine borrow mine. I got a new one that was better, and ended up selling the new one. And I still have someone technically using my mattress back at USA right now.
see, my current roommate is right now using my mattress. One of my mattress, I'm
you keep
keeping one of my mattresses downstairs, and then there are 2
Is it still
mattresses
there?
sitting
Oh, man.
outside. Yeah,
Oh man.
yeah. So I have 4 mattresses in total, and one is used, one is unoccupied, 2 are literally rotting outside. Like, there's a lot of rain. Speaking of mattresses, I've been getting a lot of mattress ads. It's really weird. And they keep telling me about how the mattress industry is a scam and that you should buy from us because we're not a scam, but that feels like a scam in itself. Don't you think? Like, we are this company. We ship directly to you. We believe that our customers should get a full night of sleep and that this is something you should invest in, but you shouldn't invest like a few $1,000s for it. And I don't know if that's a scam or not either. Like, how much do mattresses retail? They say you shouldn't pay more than like $300 for a mattress.
I
don't
heard
know.
that Caspers are not good.
Oh yeah, it was Casper. You're right. Casper's. Oh, I googled this before.
What's
Casper.
a Casper? Is that a mattress?
You haven't heard Casper mattress? It's on every podcast.
Nope. I
They
have
all sell you
not.
Casper mattresses and subscriptions to Squarespace.
Yeah,
Wait, really?
told me about it. So
That sounds
You,
like
you forgot about Audible.
Oh yeah, and Audible. Oh, and also what's it called?
Dollar
Uh,
Shave Club.
Yes,
gonna
Dollar
say
Shave
stamp
Club.
thing.
Yes, I've heard.
What's the stamp one? Where you free stamps? Where you mail from your own home?
here, this is
Oh, I know.
these are their mattresses. Wave, the luxurious ergonomic 5-layered mattress for 1,250. The award-winning balance, softness, and support mattress called the Casper, $600, and the Essential, which is 3 layers and $350.
I can't wait.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck the layers do. What does more layers entail? Your entitlement?
Quality.
Yeah, quality and your financial standing, life.
I was gonna say the quality of the hole that's burning your wallet.
I think it's a metaphor. The more layers you have, the higher you are in like an economic status. You know,
In hell.
But
it's
Just
literally a
so-
pyramid.
You have
What?
4 mattresses. Just stack them on top of each other, and you have the same.
Yeah,
thing.
and then I'll be a fucking Casper right there. They should. These sound like what are they called? They're like titles, you know.
Mhm.
The essential. You're like an essential, and then a Casper, and then you're a wave. Like a class name. Okay, that's a little stretching it. That's stretching it a little too much, but it sounded kind of cool in my head.
I can't wait.
It's okay.
I can't wait when our podcast has to start shilling for Dollar Shave Club and mattresses. And
I'll be
Dude, that's-
so excited. I'll buy a $1 Shake Club for it once when they actually pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. I'll sell my soul for those sponsors. I don't care.
I love it. Sometimes you can tell they're so like they don't like this. They just have to.
I mean, I've only been listening to Rooster Teeth podcast recently, but the dude is always like, "I own a Casper mattress. That's pretty good."
That doesn't
And
mean he sleeps on it.
Yeah, maybe he owns it and it's also sitting outside of his house. Like he's just like, "I own it and it's pretty good, but I have a better mattress and I'm not using
It
this
insulates
Casper."
my walls.
Yeah, I use it as padding for my studio.
speaking of like outside shilling, okay, I don't mean to shill for these guys, but I think this is actually really interesting. Not anime, because anime is fantastic.
Alright.
Honey. Have you guys heard of Honey?
Oh,
Wait, isn't that
the
the-
gaming
discount
app?
code? Yeah, the
Yeah.
browsing disc.
I've seen Honey too. I hate their design. It looks really shitty to me, but
It does look really.
I just
Wait.
think it's interesting that they're actually asking people to show for them when they're a discount, searching kind of like.
Yeah,
service.
that's kind of ironic.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think it's cool what they're doing.
See, I don't see the incentive of it. Like,
Right.
why do they need to advertise for themselves when,
I mean, they're saving
Free.
people money, right?
like, how do they make money? Some of these things are such an enigma to. How
Could
does
be ads.
I
ads?
don't
How
know.
do they play ads on
I mean,
my?
they're asking people, or they're sponsoring
Wait.
people. They're asking people to show for them on YouTube and stuff.
Actually, I know exactly why. It's just data analytics. They just collect information. They're like, what do people want to save on? What is their demographic?
Oh.
What is the demographic that wants to save on this website, like Walmart? And what does this demographic shop for? What item do they shop for the most on something like Walmart? And what do they want the deals on the most? That kind of stuff. And they sell it to shit like Walmart. It's a perpetuating corporate cycle,
Oh, I get what you're saying.
right? That's
Oh.
That's what free things are in this day and age. It's all about
Mm-hmm.
like you can take our product for free, we'll take your information.
Mm-hmm.
So
And then when they take
Or
that
it's ads.
information, then I think they might do that thing where like they might get a cut of the
Yeah.
product that's sold.
I don't think so. That's too complicated. They have to do it for like every single product.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure they sell information, which is just very lucrative.
That's
But-
oh, I get what you're saying.
You know, ad-based
yeah.
monetization isn't very popular nowadays. It's all
Right.
about gather.
Right, right.
Ad-based. Have you realized that ad-based revenue streams, like on YouTube, that stuff has been going slightly downhill. A lot
Yeah.
of YouTubers are looking for like Patreon stuff because they're getting demonetized for every freaking video, and they're also like they're preferring to set their videos without ads and then advertising their Patreon. That's what most people do.
It's been that way for 2 years or so.
For like ever since they had a name for it. It was like a YouTube
Adpocalypse.
apocalypse. Yeah, the adpocalypse.
Adbox.
That's right. Yeah, the adpocalypse. Because ad streaming is just it's not good. Many Twitch channels too. Remember how in the advent of Twitch, most Twitch channels would actually have ad breaks where they'd be like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna take a quick break." They would play like maybe one game, and then they tell you that they're gonna take an ad break. Do you guys remember those days?
I think some
No.
still do. I know Dr. Disrespect just has his merchandising as ads, so
Yeah, see, he doesn't advertise. So, there's this guy called, what's that toast dude who plays Hearthstone? Disguised
Cinnamon
Toast.
Oh,
No, his name is Disguised Toast, and he has a video about the monetization of Twitch and how he makes money. So apparently, Twitch channels have this button where you press the ad button, and then you basically play ads on command, and then people watch your ads, and you get a certain amount of money for the ad that you play, depending on how many viewers you have. So people used to do that after every single game, and according to Disguised Toast, he said that some people choose to press that button a lot, and some people don't. But from the trends that I've been noticing, a lot of people don't do those ad breaks. They don't tell their viewers that they're doing ads. They make most of their monies through things like subscribers and donations. Mostly subscribers, like Amazon Prime subscribers. So we've moved away from the ad button and closer to people subscribing, you putting yourself out there as a brand, making yourself likable, owning a YouTube channel so you can use your YouTube channel, your Instagram, your Twitter following and everything to get people to subscribe with stuff like Amazon Prime on your Twitch account. That's like the main monetization direction that I've been seeing on Twitch, at least.
That's not a direction that's changed because of Twitch. It's changed because of more people viewing.
That, and I also think ad revenue just isn't as
It's kind of
lucrative.
it's tapered off.
It's just like all of those things added up together. You're right. More people on Twitch.
Good
Well,
pun there.
hey,
I think
100%.
I'm gonna have to sign off now, guys. But yeah, this is the official Checkpoint podcast. My name is Christian. Who are you guys?
I'm B-Chan.
J Cho
Dumb.
signing out.
Alright, good shit, guys.
Have a good time at jury duty, Christian.
Ah, shit. I forgot.
I mean, to be fair, that
Yeah.
sign off was just for the podcast, but we can keep going. Lols.
Yeah, I was really interested in the whole the monetization stuff. Because I've been I guess the YouTubers I follow keep talking about Apocalypse as well as the changes in revenue streams now that their YouTube money isn't as good as it used to be.
Right.
The whole change in the algorithm, how they made 10-minute videos very lucrative and anything under 10 minutes really bad. So, remember, I don't know if you remember a lot of animators being on YouTube.
No, I know this one, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, are
Now
there
they-
more?
There's
not the
fewer. Yeah, and they also make, they don't make shorts anymore, less than 1 minute. What they do is they try to extend things to 10 minutes, or they make like a story or something like that.
So low effort animation, not to say it's not good quality, but it doesn't take as many frames to get the point across.
Yeah.
Along with a story which they animate towards. The Odd Ones Out is a model of like what they do.
And that's kind of, I like those things. That's what I grew up with, like short, quirky clips. That's just like, hey, punchline, and then it's done.
I mean,
Like, do you guys remember
Newgrounds.
Oni videos? Yeah, Newgrounds. Remember Oni? Like,
Yes, Oni
Oni plays. Well,
Yeah, Oni
he just. I still love his videos and content because he's just funny in general. But like, I do remember I just watch his animated stuff, and now he doesn't do that ever.
Yeah,
That's
his
far as I
animation
know.
channels kind of died. Yeah. Now he's more of a gaming channel. Well, I didn't even know he had a playing channel. Hey.
Yeah, it's all him
Hey.
and other people. They were also usually in the animation studio Newgrounds. He plays with.
See,
It's
the
good
Newgrounds-
because he adds a lot of editing and jokes inside of his Let's Plays, so they're not just like Let's Plays.
It's part of his artistic
Expression.
expression, yeah. Video games, but also art.
I mean, we talked about speedruns. It's a weird art/sport.
Very real. Also, this is kind of on a tangent, but people used to use their Twitch channels as promotion for their YouTube. They would be like,
Right.
yeah, and now it's the other way around. People use YouTube as a side for Twitch. Like, they upload their Twitch highlights onto YouTube. They're just like, might as well make this. And if you look at those highlight videos of Fortnite, League of Legends, Dota, anything that's easily streamed, you'll notice that all of their videos are exactly above 10 minutes.
They are. It's funny because
Exactly.
I am actually working with one startup group right now for Fortnite videos, and our requirement
sorry.
is 15-minute videos only.
Yeah, 15-minute
or
videos.
more.
Yeah,
I
he
have
wants to
to
stretch it
figure
above 10.
out now,
Yeah.
guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, Christian.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I want to stick around. I think I'm gonna go visit some family friends in the area.
Oh, well, dude. Oh shit, that's right. I forgot, dude. Thank you for making the time to jump in.
Oh, yeah.
Christian. Hell
I wasn't sure. Yeah, well, thanks for like making it work.